Hello my beautiful viewers on my channel James Iggy's Open World. What I'm going to talk about now is one of my views, but before I do, I thought I'd show you briefly, because there is a video on this, one of my drone. This is the Trax Alias drone, quadcopter. I've had this a long time. I've just ordered some new batteries for it. I modded it out. It used to be red. I mean, my two favourite colours are green and black, so I modded it the way I wanted it. It's got a light there, a light bar, and you can have a camera. Well, I've been doing these walking videos lately, so I'm going to take the light off there and put my camera on, so I can do a bit of aerial footage as well. I'm going to get it into the editing, maybe overdub it, because it does make a bit of a noise, so overdub it with something. Or maybe my voice, which you can do on Move A Reveal software. Little plug for Move A Reveal there. But at night, if you fly that at night, it does look like a UFO. But most of and it's very easy to repair, mod out and stuff. It's very easy. But most of the spare parts now you have to get from America, eBay America. I'll give you a little tip about eBay and Amazon. Your passwords and usernames are the same for every Amazon around the world and every eBay. So you don't need to open a new account with eBays around the world or Amazon. Just use your own username and password. Yeah. Because I used to buy, I'm a massive Stargate SG-1 fan, and what have you, I found it cheaper to buy Region 1s from Amazon of that and the Waltons than it would be by over here with postage, so it's worth mentioning. Yeah. And as I said before, if you've got a computer and you've got an external drive, you can set your internal drive for Region 2, which is Europe, and Region 1's America. So yeah. But I'll be doing a review of it on my channel. I bought a Region 1 DVD player. I'm going to do a review of it on this channel for 30 quid. I forget what the postage was. And it'll play any region for £30. They used to be like 300, 400, 500, 600, 700 quid years ago. £30, and it works perfect. I'm going to do a review of it on this channel. And it's even got inputs where you can put microphones for karaoke as well. 30 quid. Brand new, and it works perfect. So keep watching, and there'll be a review of that and a link to it. Yeah. But what I'm going to do with that, I've ordered some new batteries, and I'm going to do some aerial footage of it. But eventually I'm going to be getting another drone in the new year, saving up for hopefully a Mavic Air 2, which will be a lot better than this. It'll be a proper, like cinema style one that can follow you about and spin around, like you see on these wild camping videos that I've mentioned on my channel. Anyway, that's that. If you want to watch about that, just look through my thing and you'll find going into more detail about that. The Trax Alias. But anyway, my view, briefly, on political correctness and freedom of speech. Well, what's brought it to mind again is there was that comedian on Britain's Got Talent, politically correct comedian, who I didn't think was funny at all, to be honest. But this weekend I watched on YouTube, he was funny, he was very funny, but he was being unpolitically correct. This woke society that we live in, most woke jokes are not funny. They're just not funny, It's like, I mean, I'm a religious person. I like Christian rock. That's not rock and roll. I mean, I love Christian music. I really do, really do. But it's not rock and roll. Like Billy Connolly said, rock and roll is AC/DC, Highway to Hell and all that sort of stuff. That's rock and roll. That's heavy metal. It's not Christian rock. It's not. And I'm a religious person. Not rock and roll, that. Metallica's heavy metal and rock and roll. Iron Maiden and all the rest of it, they're rock and roll. I mean, come on, political correctness is the bane of most people's lives these days. You've got to watch everything you do. I'm not racist in any way, shape or form. I'll show you one more time. Yeah. Kunta Kinte was an African slave. I'm not racist, you know. And they go on about the right being racist. Perfectly honest with you, the right and the extreme right and the extreme left, they're both as bad as each other. You know, we saw that in Brexit. You know, we saw that with Brexit on social media, slagging each other off constantly. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. It's like a punch and judy shot. Somewhere it is in the houses of Parliament. You know, and it's getting like that with political parties over this virus. We're supposed to be working together. This is serious. The virus is real. You know, it's real. You know what I mean? Social distancing, wearing masks and all the rest of it you should be doing. Think about other people. You know, think about the elderly. You know. But freedom of speech in this country should be enshrined in law somehow. You know, being eroded away on a daily basis. It's ruining comedy. You know. Absolutely bloody ruining comedy it is. You know, you got to watch everything you say. Simple fact is you can't please everybody. I'm 52. You know, I was born in 68. You can't please everybody. You know, you just can't. I mean, do we really, as a whole country and the world, want to live in a society where we've got to watch every single bloody thing we say? You got the police who are scared to do the job in case you get accused of being racist. The police. A lot of them are petrified in case you get accused of being racist. And the government doesn't back them up. Ridiculous. You know. These perverted bloody grooming gangs who should be locked up and the key thrown away or stuck on an island somewhere, the perverted scum. You know what I mean? Wrong. Bloody wrong. The police should have the backup of the government. You know, you shouldn't have to worry about what they say and what have you. Bloody ridiculous. And Black Lives Matter, right? Some of those protesters of Black Lives Matter, right? I'm sure they think it's the 1950s and 60s in America. You know, when in America then, coloured black people, right, couldn't use a white person's toilet. They couldn't sit in a white person's area in restaurants. Drinking fountains, you had to have separate drinking fountains, you know. And like one of my favourite speeches of all time is Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream. You know, it's not there. It's not like that anymore. You know. Yeah, the only thing I will agree with coloured people is they probably do get pulled over by the police more than white people do. That's probably true, but and what have you. Probably true, but I've no proof of that. But you have to watch what you say. I've no proof of that. Might not be right at all. Just 1 second. Yes, as I was saying, sorry about that. It was my brother on the phone. Yeah. You know, this woke culture we've got, you know, you got to watch everything you say. I mean, it's getting like, I don't know how I can describe it. It's getting like a hospital ward. You can almost smell the bleach. People shouldn't have to live like that. I mean, there's one thing about being racist to someone, which is wrong, and people should be pulled up to it and get arrested for it. But actually, it's expressing how you feel about something. It's like with Brexit. Remain might have won that referendum if instead of calling people racist bigots all the time, they actually listened to people's genuine concerns about uncontrolled immigration, because people have genuine concerns about that and what have you, instead of just insulting them all the time. And especially a particular presenter, James O'Brien on LBC Radio, who just seems to just do it all the time. He's a Remainer, hardened Remainer. He doesn't actually, he just insults people all the time, in my humble opinion. I like him. I mean, his heart's in the right place, but he just insults people all the time. I'd never ring him, to be perfectly honest with you. I think he's ignorant. I think his heart's in the right place, on other stuff, but you don't go around insulting people. You listen to people's opinions and you respect people. Treat people with respect. That's why I was brought up. you know. But for this freedom of speech, it should be guaranteed. People should be able to say how they feel about stuff, you know. You shouldn't get a bloody rasp by the press and all the rest of it. You should be entitled to their opinions. That's free. People died for that in the First and Second World War. The fact that we could express how we feel. It's outrageous. We're losing freedom of speech in this country, in my opinion. What have you? And it's wrong. It's just truly wrong. I respect everybody's opinion. And I would respect James O'Brien's opinion till the cows come on, because he's entitled to it. You know. I mean, I voted Brexit, but I would vote to stay now. But even though I would vote to stay now, I still think there's massive issues with the EU. I think it's undemocratic. I think, on the whole, it's German run. I really do. And as far as harmonisation goes, I don't think they'll be able to do it, to be honest with you. Because I can't see the French farmers giving up those subsidies, or the French fishermen and all the rest of it. I can't see them giving up that. You know, it's not going to be as easy as the EU think it is. And do I think we'll leave on a WTO Brexit? I'd be very surprised, because I think we should go through with it. Because that's what people voted for. And all this rubbish that we didn't understand what we're voting for, you know. Like Piers Morgan and Richard Madeley, who used to be a TV host, said on Question Time. He said on Question Times about it. That people didn't have a caveat in their head when they went to vote in that referendum, thinking, well, I want to leave, but I don't want to leave the single market, and I don't want to leave the customs union, you know. You voted to leave. Leave is leave. It's as simple as that. In my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that the single market and the customs union are part of the EU, which we voted to leave. But I'll say one thing for the Remainers. I mean, the excuses you come out with are unbelievable. You should write a book. 101 ways to get out of a referendum. 101 excuses to get out of a referendum. Yeah, by Nick Clegg. Sorry, I couldn't resist that one. Sorry. You know, there's always two sides to every story. There's positives for leaving the EU, and there's negatives, you know. And I truly believe that the closest you can ever get to the general public is a referendum. It's like the X Factor and Britain's Got Talent, isn't it? One person, one vote. You know. Now with the first past the post system we have, I mean, that can be argued and debated till the cows come on, can't it? You know what I mean? You know, and what have you? You could argue about that, but there's all sorts of different proportional representation and everything. But we voted to leave, you know, and it's like the Cali migrant crisis. That's another one. People are scared to talk about that. Well, my view on that is basically the question. I asked this question, and nobody, the Remainers never really answered this question. I can't understand it really, but I'm only from a layman's thingy, right? That my understanding is, and Farage has proven this, right, is that when they get the illegal enter this country on the dinghies and that, right, they get put up in a 4-star hotel, right? That's my understanding, right? Right, fair enough, you know, that's, what have you? What they're going through the asylum system, right? But my understanding is, right, this is what I can't understand, and I would love an answer from a Remainer, a hardened Remainer. Why are France, right, they moan about the Cali migrant camps and all this, that and the other. Why are France not putting them migrants up in 4-star hotels like the UK does? And it was a case, I heard, right, these migrants or refugees or whatever you want to call them, right? I don't know what the politically correct word is for it, really. I'm trying to be diplomatic here, you know, as you can tell. Is because the human beings, you know, the actual human beings, you know, and they're just as important as me, as any of us. We're all one species, you know. Inside, we've all got the same organs. We've all got a soul, you know. We're all God's children, you know. But anyway, these particular migrants, they'd just keeping on the time how long this is going on for. These particular migrants, they'd made a claim in Spain. So Britain had the absolute right to send them back to Spain, which they did. They were deported back to Spain. Now, the British media went over there, and do you know what? Right? those people who were deported back to Spain are living on the streets. Yeah. Now my question to any Remainers is, if the EU is that great, and what have you, why are they made their first appeal in Spain? Why are they not being put up in 4-star hotels or accommodation in Spain and not being left to sleep on the streets? It's a question, isn't it? And I think it's a fair question. You know, this is what I mean again with harmonisation. You know, as well. You know what I mean? Strange, isn't it? But freedom of speech needs to be protected. I'll give you one last little thing now, right? What I believe, right? The extreme left, right, and the extreme right. I've heard this said before, right? Extreme left, extreme right are both wings of the same bird, right? And what I mean by that is the body is the establishment of this country and the head is the super rich. So to truly change the direction that a country's going in, right, is you need to change the body of the bird and the head of the bird to truly change the country's direction, really, more than anything. You know, that's what I think. And the extreme left and the extreme right are as bad as each other, as far as I'm concerned. You know, we really are. And these demonstrations in a pandemic shouldn't even be going on. Not in a pandemic. It shouldn't be allowed at all, in my opinion. This is serious. We're dealing with a serious virus. And the government also needs to clamp down on this idiotic conspiracy theorist nonsense that you get on the internet as well. Because it spreading lies about it's a new world order. David Icke, he thought he was Jesus Christ. Oh, we're being run by lizards. You know, that's what he thought. You know, yeah. And that we're all living in a matrix. Yeah, yeah, right, Dave. David Icke, yeah, right, yeah. It's funny, isn't it, I'd say to David Icke. It's funny, David, isn't it, that you never mention any of this before the film Keanu Reeves' film, The Matrix, it never gets mentioned before that, does it? It's funny, isn't it? Same with the lizards, never got mentioned before that series. V, in the 80s, isn't it? You're obviously trying to sell boots, aren't you? That's what I'd say to him, you know. And the other thing as well, one last thing, about immigration. One of the main supporters of EU membership, Richard, what's his name? The big airport guy. I forget his name. He flew balloons and everything. He's got this island in the Med. Him. And the question I'd like to ask him as well is, how many migrants have you got living on your island in Necker? You know what the answer would be? None. No. They want us to live with them, but they don't want to live with them themselves. You know, they want to live in the gated communities. You know, you'll find. I bet there should be a TV program done on MPs, and I bet you will find the vast majority of them live in mainly white areas. You know, strange, isn't it, that one? Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. My view on political correctness and freedom of speech. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Bye.